aga mul on hea meel sisse juhatada siis Ranko 4O3A või nagu ta siin on ennast ekraani peale defineerinud kui ES5HS. Nii et tal on ka Eesti kutsung olemas, nii et Ranko räägib siis meile, millised on olnud uue maja võistlusjaama disainimise ja arendamise arengud. Ja anname siis Rankole sõna. Ranko räägib inglise keeles, nii et katsuge siis jälgida ja Ranko, please be a bit slower, not too fast, so that everybody can understand better. So, floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for inviting me. It's a great pleasure to be with the friends again. So we didn't see each other for a while, so a couple of years looks like. So for today, I prepared a presentation to be, let's say, informative. I will not go deeply in the details, and subject could be something like what is changed technologically wise in contest layouts in the last 5-6 years. So we will start from our joint success in 2014. Arvo and you and Tono and the others were part of the team, and we won in SSB and CW. It was actually the first multi-series, multi-single entry from Obosnik Hill. And we set up the new world record in CW part, which is still on the power. So it's a good reference for seeing what we have today technologically wise. So we had, at that moment, we had 7 operators per time, two run operators. We had one who was controlling antenna directions, and the second one who was listening on all unselected antennas by run 1, called them run 1. And it was very efficient. Then behind them, we had 2 inbounds. They were pretty comfortable, and they had a sort of automation for interacting run operators, like sharing audio to jump in at the right moment. And also we had a possibility to stop run at any moment if inbound operator decided to do it because of importance of queues which he wanted to log in. And we had the 3 multipliers. Actually, we had 2 operators on the working multiplier band, and we had third one who was listening the other bands and preparing a band. So at that moment, technologically wise, I think that it was a top-notch equipped contest station with all known automation devices and procedures. And it was efficient, but pretty complex. A lot of wires, a lot of, let's say, weak points with huge possibility for something to go wrong during the contest. Luckily, we were lucky. We didn't have problems, but if we want to overview it realistically, it was, let's say, over complex layout. So always some problem is behind the corner. Let me just move the screen. Okay. So it was a diagram of what we used. So for those who were not present, and most of you are not, of course, but just to explain briefly. So we used one FTDX 5000, and second receivers was fed with unselected antennas. And this guy was listening always a different direction. And we had two radios on in-band and with possibilities. So what we implemented, and it was very effective, we had a reversible switch between RAN and in-band desk. So it was allowing in-band to swap the antennas, to borrow temporary big antennas from RAN guy to work important in-band station. Usually it was a multiplier, and then to just switch back the main antennas to runner. Meantime, runner was using in-band antennas. We used pretty serious in-band antennas, and in most of the cases, RAN was not even aware of the fact that he was using different antennas than he is using usually. So it was powerful and efficient option for having RAN and in-band group to work efficiently. Then we had, because we are using, actually in-bands are working on the same band. We were sharing amplifier, and we had one amplifier, two radio switch for that purpose. So the first one win scenario was just sending amplifier to the station for transmission who first pressed PTT. Here also we had the two multipliers. It's pretty complex layout. We were using ACOM 2-station 2S1 switch, but also we had an opportunity to use unselected antennas from in-band and RAN group. Actually, they are on the same band, and because we had stacks for in-band, one of in-band antenna were stacks, so we had opportunity using a complex filtering system to use unused bands, and it was very efficient. Of course, when multiplier 1 was transmitting, multiplier 2 couldn't receive in that basic scenario. And multiplier 3 with his own amplifier, who was actually listening third or fourth band, trying to find the new multiplier and to prepare next 10 minutes run for multipliers. So this is what we had. I don't want to now to present a complex filtering and switching system, because it will just be a confusion. So the point is in simplifying everything. So we now have, in 2021, we have game changers. We have flex radio, which is LAN-based radio, and we have amplifier PGXL, which is SO2R, also LAN-based, fully integrated into the smart SDR of flex radio. Basically, when flex radio show up on the market, it opened a new area. Actually, my company and myself, we recognize the power of having all devices from radio up to the simple switcher to be on the LAN, because it provides us new platform with possibility to share any data, any signal through radio station and to do with the software, literally whatever you like. So besides Flex Radio, and after that PGXL, Flex Radio actually opened the new platform. We developed a family of Langenius devices, and nowadays I can say that finally we have all necessary for simple or complex contestation based on a LAN, and our goal in 2021 from developing point of view will be to finalize the softwares and couple of devices, and until the end of this year to have completed all the software and to offer new solution from Jordan Ham, the simple radio station, up to the big ones like ES5 TV or 403 AR. So one of the first Genius devices is Antenna Genius. I guess it's well known. We build into the switcher, we build the complex station automation. It has possibility to supply signals to output relay modules, and then with the software you can create the buttons, program it as you like. So it becomes, instead to have a station geniuses, just with this Antenna Genius, any SO2R or even the big ones, they can satisfy all needs for automation they have. The new product, which is not the major, actually, I will call it accessory, but it is game changer because it's LAN, it's Tuner Genius, which is capable for 2 kilowatts, and this tuner has built in a lot of first ever features on the market. So it's pretty smart. So for contesters like most of you are, needs for tuner is not a big one, but there is a need for, let's say, Yagi for 40 meters, where it will be healthy to have a tuner to tune it a little bit on the edge of the band, or for even my 20-meter stack doesn't have a flat SWR. So it can remember segments per band, it can go into the tune mode, it can go into the bypass mode, depending on with frequency control, and it also has a extremely lab grade accurate power meter on it. So little bit. So I don't think that I have to go deeply into the details. So one of very simple new products, I like to say simplicity is beauty. So whatever I like the most, it's usually something which is simple. It's bandpass filter, and we build in three-way switcher, and also we build in a little bit of smartness. These filters, they can be easily connected one to each other and controlled from a couple of Genius devices and by its own software. So new station Genius will control directly bandpass filters. So it's not a high technological involved. I mean, but from the practical point of view, it's really I like it. So it will make layouts to be much simpler and much less cable. And now what we are working recently on is Station Genius. Station Genius is the new generation of old SSE XL. What you can see on the screen is a LAN console for controlling Station Genius and for controlling all other devices from Genius family. So from this console, you will be able to control rotator, to switch any device, to switch filter, to take a look on Power Genius screen, on tuner, on whatever. So it's agronomically, it's designed to fit SO2R needs, but it can be SO2R or it can be single radio controller with twice more of buttons. And it is a kind of layout which is close to the final one. Before we end up into the final one, we will send the prototypes probably to Tom and some other guys to make a final alpha testing and to go into the production. So you can switch transmitting antennas, receiving antenna, and even we will have some API to flex radio to see a frequency or whatever we decide that we should have on the display. Display will be 7-inch, pretty comfortable. And for remote control of station on operating side, you will need Smart SDR and Station Genius, or Maestro and Station Genius, with full control of literally everything on your station. Actually, the layout is the same. Are you on station or in your office? So here, again, we are on the layout of 2014, and let's see how it will look in generally with new hardware. So with one Flex Radio 66 or 6700, we can replace all operating desk on RAM band, runs and in-bands. No interlocks needed, so we don't need Station Geniuses for interlock. We can use left and right audio channels, one for run and the second channel for in-bands. So we can create everything very simple just using one radio. It will replace 3 usually pretty expensive radios. Then we need just one again for replacing complete multiplier group. So again, no interlock needed, bunch of wires not needed. Everything becomes to be much simpler and easier for control. Then instead of having 1 amp to radio switching system, we can use Power Genius or XL or the next generation XXL with a little bit more of power for Europeans. And so that is instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 radios, we need just two Flex radios and two amplifiers. Here we used 3 amplifiers in this layout. Actually, it's the same capability, even more, because we can add with Flex 6700, we can add much more of in-bands. So now it's literally just, not literally, practically just opening a new slice, new receiver on Smart SDR. So that's it. So much more powerful, and you have just 4 2 amps, 2 radios instead of bunch of these standard radios and switching. And etc. So this is, I guess, pretty obvious. Plus, which is, we cannot compare that with old-fashioned layouts. Everything is fully remotely controlled. So just to share with you my experience, we are testing, actually we have on station good source of internet radio. We have a mobile provider and he provides us directly on the site reliable internet. We didn't recognize anything, when we compare access to radio, to station over the internet from the outside world or internally through the LAN, which I have from office to station. So it's more than a year, so it's very reliable, and you cannot, for contestants, as most of you are, latency is not issue anymore. We have some issues with the DX log and latency, but it belongs to DX log, not to the hardware. So that's about the layout, how it looks like nowadays. I will use the opportunity just to tell a few words more about the Station Genius XL, which is the first product after the Power Genius, which we intend to send to alpha group of contesters before we go into the mass production, to be sure that we didn't forget anything and to really launch a great product for primarily contest community, but in generally for everyone. So console will be capable to communicate with any Genius device with Flex Radio. So all we are developing here is LAN-based. We are now replacing some standard switchers and simple devices with LAN control, including bandpass filters. So everything will be controllable over the API, and it's just matter of imagination and clear vision of what do you need to write a software for whatever scenario. We are employing two very experienced softwares, and they are also contesters at the same time. They will be part of the team, and we are open also to anyone, maybe someone here is interested in joining us, so it's kind of professional relationship. So if anyone is interested, so just send me an email. So a bunch of work can be done outside of Montenegro. So it's a software. Station Genius. So we will have a hardware. We will have a box with probably simple display, and it will replace two old SSE XL with all their functionality, or it will be, as I already said, twice of buttons to be used for one radio. It is how it will look like with Station Genius. So instead of 6 or 7, I guess we used 6 SSE XLs. We will have 4 Station Genius consoles. So that is at the end, the layout which will replace our high-tech, fully advanced for that time layout we used in 2014. As you can see, it's much simpler. And I like really to avoid as much as possible of cables and fixing some functionality physically on dedicated desk is not solution at all. So here everything is flexible, plus everything is fully remotely controlled, no any limitation. And now it's my last slide, so you can ask the question after this. So it is now how it looks like one SONR, SO2R station, more or less, with all the devices from Genius family, fully remotely controlled. So I think it's self-explanatory from the photo. So this is what I'm using at the moment at testing on Ovosnik Hill. Unfortunately, antennas are very, very basic, so no serious contesting, but we are using opportunity and time to test the hardware. So that's all for today from my side. If you have any question, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Ranko. And I wonder if there are any questions, on kellelgi mingeid küsimusi või kommentaare. Tõnno roolib seal midagi, äkki sul, Tõnno, on midagi öelda?
Yes, well, thanks. I guess people will have to study those slides a bit closer later to understand what exactly you have designed here. It's not probably for most people it's not right away obvious as you thought. So it takes a bit of time to realize what the advantages of all this automation is. So I'm not sure I can add something specific here. It will be interesting definitely to see how this new Station Genius will perform, and of course with all this automation, the critical part becomes the software and the reliability of all this network. So maybe you can say a few words about how those network protocols and all this has been developing, and have you taken into use some new solutions, maybe how to make it all more reliable and not crashing during the contest?
Yeah.
Yeah, especially RFI problems as well. Have you examined that if there's like 2Ks of power, all these networking in terms of RF everywhere around? How's that?
Yeah, so I will tell you that if everything is technically properly installed, you shouldn't have any RFI problem. I never have had a problem on my station with RFI, never. So, but all my PCs from antenna up to the devices into the shack are properly installed with proper grounding, current mode shocks, blah, blah, blah. So it's pretty resistant. So I don't see it as a problem. From the beginning, from when the Flex radio show up on the market, it was obvious that it is a way for the future. So no doubt about this. But then we had a period of, as Tono said, unreliable device, which was working, but not enough good to cover the contest needs. So we need a fast switching because, you know, delay of more than 100, 150, 200 milliseconds, which we can tolerate, is not tolerating. So it was not the case, and over the time it improves a lot. And what is making me optimistic and happy is the fact that it will be improved. Everything we mentioned here are devices, equipments, which will be improved. For example, now in next week, we are releasing new firmware for Power Genius, which will dramatically reduce fan noise on the amplifier, which was one of, actually probably the only one observation from the customer was a fan noise. And also Flex Radio, all the other devices will improve over the time. So some time is needed. At the moment, problem which I have is I'm user of DXlog, and they have a very specific way of protocol for sending CW characters, and it sounds with the unnecessary space, bigger spacing in between characters. So it was like so it's not acceptable. So this is something which has to be fixed in the DXlog. With N1MM, everything works perfectly. So it's reliable as much as your internet connection is reliable. So here we have 3 sources of internet for station, and we don't face any problem. And also I created one wireless LAN network directly without the internet. This is what I'm using, and anyone who has a station not too much far away should make one network, because it's under your control, and latency is like in a LAN. So conclusion, nowadays it's reliable. You can run and you can make a dual C queuing. You can really run the serious contest, you can win, and it will be improved. So what I am intending to do in 2021 is to create the alpha group of contesters to help to fix all problems which are known or will be found in the future, and to be fixed as soon as possible to fit a contester's needs. So this is what Flex Radio, they didn't recognize probably contest community as we are recognizing. But I think that now it is a time, and in a year from now, I'm 100% sure that software will be improved on needed level for us. So that's it. Tono will be one of the key alpha testers. So
okay, excellent. I wonder.
I mean, his level of complication is even higher than mine.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm sure I will identify them.
Yeah, as this networking was a very important issue, as you pointed it out, then the question is that do all these devices, are they all connected physically, or should be connected physically, or is there a Wi-Fi capability? Which would you recommend? Or there are 2 options, like just physical connections and maybe Wi-Fi connections, or how have you planned it?
Actually, they have LAN connectors. So, I mean, I guess that a physical connection means plug-in cable. Yes, cable connection as wherever it is possible, because it's much more reliable. Some of devices are also with Wi-Fi features. Here we have a Wi-Fi LAN from my office. We have 2 hops to Oversleep, which is 15 kilometers, and we don't have any problem. But avoiding Wi-Fi, again, it depends on of local Wi-Fi network. So sometimes it works super, sometimes it can be a problem. I mean, a lot of these Wi-Fi routers are cheap and problem creators. So plug-in cable is actually recommended.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions, comments?
Regarding using Station Genius remotely, So how it will connect over internet to all those devices in LAN network? How easy it will be to set it up remotely so that, for example, it controls local rotator genius over internet?
Actually, all functionality which you physically has with device in front of you will have mirror of this when you are remote. All functionalities will be mirroring. So device is connected with LAN on LAN network. So are you connected over the internet or WAN or with the cable into your switcher? It's absolutely the same. So you will have.
What kind of requirements are there for this internet connection? You have to have, I don't know, some static IP addresses or VPNs, or it's all a little bit dark for me. All this.
Yes, it's still dark. Fixed IP is reliable, but we will work with DNS as well. So also all the devices we are not designing a Windows dedicated devices and then to enter into the problem of having a need for huge bandwidth for system to be functional. So we are we are designing embedded solution with microcontrollers, controllers, PIC32 at the moment. We are using the latest generation, so the traffic is on the minimal level for the functionality. So from perspective of internet speed needed, nowadays any normal internet connection will be more than enough. If you have 2 megabits or more, you won't have any problem with internet. So as you will be one of alpha tester for sure, so you will be one of guys who will advise or give us confirmation that the device is okay. So the idea from customer point of view, forget the engineering, is so the device has the same functionality. Is it in a shack or in your car? And everything is actually not mirroring. Actually, you are moving your device with your functionality. When you are on remote, you are physically taking your Station Genius, you plug it into the network, and it behaves same like in your shack. So this is.
Do you have to have one station? Do you have to have one Station Genius physically in your station, which has the connections to those output modules, relay modules, for example?
I don't know if you see my video. So this is the prototype.
Yes.
So this is Station Genius, the hardware, controlling 2 radios. So, and it is connected in a shack, controlled over the LAN.
Right. So the panel is separate from that.
Absolutely. So the panel is just the prototyping for programming. So this is the panel. And it is a key issue to have. Now we have control of Flex Radio and Power Genius, and we'll have Tuner Genius fully implemented into the smart SDR. So we needed a device to control all the rest, everything. So, and it is Station Genius console.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other comments potential? I wonder if we have any other listeners from any other countries. We were a little bit advertising that anybody from outside Estonia listening this presentation. Any idea?
But if they are over internet, then they cannot speak up. We don't know.
Yeah, we have only the Zoom. There is it has been made public, this Zoom room, but there is no extras at the moment, so we are not sure. But on the web we have nearly 100 viewers still, So most of them Estonians, most probably. And Echo Sugar 7 Golf Mike Christian was asking, because he's in the noisy place now already, that will be there any good discount for all the ESs from Ranko to buy equipment?
Free of charge. For Christian, everything is, he can do whatever he likes.
We will pass this good news to him, yes. Okay. Well, if there aren't any other questions or comments, then we will definitely thank you, Ranko, for sharing this time with us this Saturday morning. And it was nice to see you and your new developments. And I hope that these things are already somehow described also on your webpage, or are they there already up?
Yes, they are, most of them, yes.
Okay, excellent. So more information is available on for Oscar 3 Alpha webpage, and then yeah, everybody are free to ask additional questions then, and send information and ask something else via email from Ranko. So if there is more serious interest, and of course, definitely we are looking forward to seeing that some of those devices would land to ES5 Tango Victor's QTH, so that we can touch it and test it in real activities. That would be nice.
Thank you very much for inviting me. So it was really nice pleasure to see you again, and hopefully see you during 2021 somewhere in Estonia. One of Siku, I have to come.
Yes. Yes, and I have to compliment you on a very good camera placement, because your very important contest trophy is well seen on the left upper corner of your screen.
Left upper corner.
From our side, left upper corner. Your very important contest trophy on the wall is exactly in the corner. That's very good. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, guys. See you again somewhere soon.
Yeah. All the best. Thanks. 7 3s.